Hi, I'm Noah, and I roast famous figures. Today, for Christmas, I'll be roasting Rich Miser and a man who looks like he keeps those mutton chops to save money on shaving cream, Ebeneezer Scrooge. Scrooge gets haunted by four ghosts, with the first ghost being the ghost of his longtime business partner, Jacob Marley, whose flat Scrooge moved into after Marley died. Look, I don't want to victim blame, but moving into your longtime partner's dreary, dingy apartment right after he died, that's asking for a haunting so bad that Scrooge was lucky it was only four ghosts. On the day that Scrooge is visited by the ghosts, he turns down two men who are collecting money for the poor because he says it would be better if many of them died and decreased the surplus population, a reference to the theories of Thomas Malthus, who wrote about overpopulation. Malthus thought the solution was for the poor to be educated on better ways to live, but Scrooge thought that the best way for the poor to live was as briefly as possible. The Ghost of Christmas Past shows us that when Scrooge was young, he and a woman named Belle were in love until Belle realized that Scrooge would always love money more than her and resent her for being poor. See, this is where Scrooge's theory that there's a surplus population of the poor breaks down, because if there's one thing we know, it's that there's no surplus of people who love Scrooge. The Ghost of Christmas Present shows Scrooge that his employee's son, Tiny Tim, will soon die because Scrooge is too miserly to pay a fair wage. Keep in mind that this is 1843, so whatever is saving Tiny Tim's life, it's not modern medicine. Scrooge is paying so little that the Cratchits can't afford, like, an orange. The Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come shows Scrooge that if he doesn't change his ways, he'll end up with a neglected grave and his servants pawning off his belongings. That is truly shocking. I mean, how did Scrooge not know that he was going to die? Scrooge gets a happy ending as he reforms and becomes a kind and generous person to everyone he knows. Scrooge's story proves that inside all of us there's some good, and the good inside Scrooge was so deeply buried that in order to find it, he needed magical forces from beyond the grave. Alright, please consider donating to help the family that I sponsor in Gaza. If you'd like to support me or watch bonus videos, please check out my Then let me know who else to roast, and join me next Christmas when I'll be roasting incompetent burglars and two men who appear to have met when they were on opposite corners of a graph of goofiness versus height, the wet bandits from Home Alone.